listen, it's gotten to a point, right, where I think I had to take a step back with Kansas City. Kansas City has won now, going back to last season, 10 straight games. 9 of those games have been decided by one score. The only game that was decided by more than one score, of course, was the first wild card game against Miami last in the playoffs. They only outscored their opponents by a total of 20 points this year. They held the Chargers, like I said, scoreless after the first quarter, and to a total of 224 yards. Listen, the Chiefs are playing chess. Everybody else is playing checkers in the NFL, and I'm telling you why. So let's go back to the Tyreek Hill trade of 2000 of March of 2022. It'll be almost 3 years. Come next year, next March, right? Everybody's like, what are you doing? What are they doing? They were coming off a playoff loss, a devastating playoff loss to Cincinnati, blowing like a 21-point lead in the conference in the AFC Championship at home. Remember that, right? So they trade Tyreek Hill, and me and myself and Robert Sepp got into argument about what they were doing. Even myself saying that, hey, I agree with the move. I can see what they're doing. I still didn't see completely what they were doing. And you think about it, like I saw part of it, but I didn't see the entire picture of. I didn't see the depth. I didn't see it to the depths that I realized what they were doing as of right now on this October 1st. They were in essence. You look at how much money. You go to their contracts, right? Who are the highest paid Kansas City Chiefs? Obviously, Mahomes is number one. So you have Mahomes in terms of average per year, right? Average salary per year. Mahomes, the quarterback. Chris Jones, defensive tackle, one of the best defensive players in the league. Joe Tooney, guard. Jawan Taylor, right guard. Creed Humphrey, center. Kelsey, tight end. Justin Reed, safety. Harrison Buckner, kicker. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 8 highest paid players. None of them are wide receivers. None of them, right? So we have the all-world quarterback. We have the Hall of Fame coach. We have one of the top kickers in all of football, the best kicker right now. We're going to stack our defense and offensive lineup. And they've nailed the draft. They absolutely have nailed the draft in terms of some of the guys that they drafted over the past since the Tyreek Hill trade. Not counting the compensation that they got from the Tyreek Hill trade. And they've, in essence, allowed themselves to master winning these close games, these one-possession games, because Mahomes is going to make a play or you're going to make a mistake. One or the other is going to happen, if not both of them. And unlike last year, when Mahomes, like right now, Mahomes, he has pedestrian stats. He only has 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he's averaging by far a career low 226 yards per game through 4 games. Not in the least bit concerned about their offense. Offensively, they rank 7th in scoring defense. They're on pace to have another top defense. So they've mastered this art, this way of, in terms of winning these games like this. This is not by accident. And they made this transition knowing what the NFL is going to look like. If you look at the NFL right now, there's more parity in the NFL right now than there's ever been. There's no dominant team. Like there's no team that's running roughshod over the league right now, as far as talent goes. There's some teams that have more talent than others. So what you got, you have to be able to win close games. You have to. You got to be able to win close games. You're not going to run through everybody. It's just not going to happen. Like those days of the 93 Cowboys, the 84 49ers, 91 Commanders, then Redskins, you're never going to see that anymore. Those days are done. They're done. So we can't be a dominant team, but what we can be is a team that is just ahead of it. It's just smarter than everybody else. Like there's no team. They are at where New England was at in their heyday. They're just smarter. And if you notice, I'll make the parallel. Hall of Fame coach, great quarterback, a bend but don't break defense that made plays when they had to make them. And those teams, those New England teams, look at those Super Bowl scores. Look how many close playoff games they won, especially in the Super Bowl. It was a stretch where they were winning all the Super Bowls by, a field goal, with a game-winning field goal. Matter of fact, if you look at New England, with the exception of the Rams Super Bowl, all their Super Bowls are basically one-score games. All of them, with the exception of the Rams one. And that game was close in the fourth quarter. That wasn't a blowout. All of their Super Bowls were by 3 points and one-score games. They mastered the art of winning close games. It was not, and again, this is not, when this keeps happening the way it's happening, this is not by accident. This is not by accident, not in the least bit.